Mastery always becomes a problem in a differentiated class because you have to have a conversation with each other. What will you tolerate as evidence? Notice the way I said that. It wasn't what's the standard, what's the outcome. You have to parse it out. I mean, think about this. You can have this standard. The student will understand fact versus opinion. What does that mean? I would suggest you go with your verbs first. What? Yeah, really, think about this. Understand. Well, does that mean to identify fact and identify opinion? That's one verb, identify. Can the kid also create fact and create opinion? Oh, that's good. Wait a minute. Can he revise fact and revise something, make it more opinionated or more factual? So we've got identify, create, and revise. Going with your verbs helps you break it out. Larry Ainsworth and many others are wonderfully great advisors on how do you unwrap standards. So we want to get good at that. We have to negotiate with each other. What will you tolerate for an A and what's almost an A but not quite? And that's really, really important because so many times standards and outcomes are really generalized. Like I've seen this one at multiple grade levels, high school, middle school, elementary, written the exact same way. The student will read and write in a variety of formats. Oh, sometimes they say genre, but that's about it. It means basically the same thing. Well, we have to sit down and talk. All right, what does that mean? All right. The student will be able to do a persuasive essay, a compare and contrast, friendly letter, business letter. Should we also teach text messaging? You know, text messaging, that secret code that young people understand that we don't understand. That's okay. People in my generation, we have our own secret code we can use to talk to each other that children don't understand. Cursive. Well, if you take that, you got to do it in every subject. The math example that I see everywhere, the student will be able to identify surface area and volume of three-dimensional solids. So now we enter into department conversation. What three-dimensional solids are we going to require? And what if they get 5 of them, but not all 7 of them, or whatever it is we're going to choose? Well, let's do a cube, because that's easy. All right. How about a rectangular prism? That's pretty good. How about a rectangular pyramid, like a 2-man pup tent or something for camping? Oh, that's good. We can do that. What about pentagonal prism and pentagonal pyramid? I'm not sure how to do that myself, so we shouldn't teach it to children. Oh, my. What about cone, cylinder, and sphere? You have to decide. It's what your community will tolerate, but you've got to become evidentiary. So a student comes to you and says, how do I get my grade up in this class? No problem. Show me evidence of the learning. Well, can I do like a summary of a television show or a poster for the library or tutor somebody? No, you have to show me this stuff. Actually show me this stuff. Learn the stuff. And then, well, if you do redos and retakes, extra credit becomes obsolete. It's irrelevant because the kid can get the highest grade he ever wants. If you're really into that, I want to make sure that I am evidence bound. It ends this bartering that happens with grades. If you do this, I'll give you that. The teacher who says, I didn't give you an F, you earned it. That's an economic bartering. That's grades as compensation. It's time for us to transcend that metaphor. Grades are never about affirmation, validation, compensation. They're communication. That's it. Undiluted, unfettered by anything else. Clear, honest communication. They're more useful, they're more valid, they're more reliable if they're communication. If they're still seen by both teachers and students as compensation for work done or content learned, you probably will struggle moving into standards-based grading. You want to become evidentiary, criterion referenced. I don't want to tell a kid, here's how you're doing in relation to others. I want to tell a kid, you can titrate liquids. You can read the meniscus in a graduated cylinder. That's what grades are supposed to report.